York, and Kelsey Plum blows the lid off the joint, letting us all in on a small secret. Team Clark, they had no idea what was awaiting them walking into that locker room come WNBA.
Kelsey Plum completely crossed the line, and Sabrina Ionescu wasn't about to let it slide. What was supposed to be a moment of unity at the WNBA All-Star Game quickly turned awkward when Plum took an unnecessary shot at Caitlin Clark, right beside one of Clark's biggest allies. The press conference turned into a cringe-worthy disaster that left fans stunned by Plum's audacity.
We didn't, at least as players, we didn't know that was going to happen. So I think it was kind of like a genuine surprise, but the t-shirt, just united front was determined this morning, that we had a meeting for, and not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very.
The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis was meant to be Caitlin Clark's big homecoming moment. Instead, she watched from the sidelines with a groin injury as her spotlight faded. But the real drama unfolded after the game, when Kelsey Plum sparked outrage by taking an unnecessary jab at Team Clark, turning celebration night into controversy.
Kelsey Plum was at the All-Star Game in Indianapolis. She made quite a scene, bro. Time at the conclusion of the game, I was one of the first people to break the story about her actually making comments about Caitlin Clark's team not being at this meeting for the CBA negotiations. Now we know the WNBA All-Stars came out with these t-shirts, pay us what.
WNBA players had just delivered a bold statement with their "Pay Us What You Owe Us" shirt protest, highlighting unity in the fight for fair pay. But instead of building solidarity, Kelsey Plum turned the moment into petty drama, exposing the ugly divide in how some veterans treat the league's biggest star, Caitlin Clark.
McKay, Women's National Basketball Players Association President. Brianna Stewart, Vice President. And Nafisa Collier. All on opposing teams from Team Clark. How does it work out that the 3 biggest players in the Players Association had an idea about wearing a "Pay Us What You Owe Us" t-shirt, make this decision last minute that this is what the players will do? Team Clark somehow isn't present in the.
During the post-game press conference, Plum began explaining the morning meeting where players agreed to wear the unity shirts. But then she went completely off script, dropping a bombshell. Not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that. The room fell silent instantly. You could practically feel the tension through the screen.
It was kind of like a genuine surprise, but the t-shirt, just united front was determined this morning, that we had a meeting for, and not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that. But no, we were just we had a very that really needed to be mentioned. I'm trying to make a situation.
But here's what made the moment even more unbelievable. Sabrina Ionescu was sitting right there, just an arm's length away, representing Team Clark herself. The disrespect was blatant and completely uncalled for. Ionescu's reaction said it all. She shot Plum a look of disbelief, rolled her eyes, and fired back with pure sarcasm.
These WNBA players, they get more unlikable every day. And the blatant jealousy, the blatant hatred towards Caitlin Clark is, it's obvious. They don't even try to hide it. We got Kelsey Plum talking about these pathetic shirts that they wore out onto the court. And I'm going to tell you, these players all put these shirts on. And like I said in a couple of previous videos, that backfired.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe. The tension in that room was unreal. Ionescu's expression said it all. This wasn't just awkward. It was completely out of line. A veteran player was throwing shade at teammates who weren't even there to defend themselves, all while sabotaging the unity message they were supposedly promoting. Now, let's talk facts. When news broke that Caitlin Clark was injured and wouldn't play in the All-Star Game, ticket prices didn't just dip, they plummeted. Within 24 hours, prices crashed by 48%, dropping from $121 to just $64 for the cheapest seats. That's not a normal market shift. That's a full-on demand collapse caused by one superstar's absence.
Caitlin Clark, she was officially ruled out before all of these things. And look at the news that dropped. This is wild. WNBA All-Star Weekend is supposed to be the star of all stars. All the big dogs is out. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got the rookie, you got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too. All of the stars are here. And look at this news. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't.
Think about that for a second. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game, held in the home city of its biggest star, dropped by nearly half the moment Caitlin Clark was ruled out. Some tickets went for as low as $60 on resale sites, as fans rushed to unload them at any price. But the story doesn't end there. The WNBA's TV ratings paint an even clearer picture. When Clark doesn't play, nationally televised games lose a staggering 55% of their audience. Her team's games without her, down 53%, from an average of 1.81 million viewers to just 847,000. These aren't minor drops. They're undeniable proof that Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She is the league right now.
Would you look at that? Prices for the WNBA All-Star Game have plummeted 49% after Caitlin Clark was ruled out due to injury per ticket. I can't say that I'm surprised by this at all. I mean, no matter how much you love her or hate her, Caitlin Clark is the face of the WNBA. When she goes, the ratings go. Simply put.
When Caitlin Clark does play, the numbers are off the charts. Her return game against the Liberty pulled in 2.2 million viewers on ABC, peaking at 2.8 million, making it one of the most watched WNBA games ever. Every time she steps on the court, the league's ratings soar. Clark is literally generating money and momentum for everyone involved in the WNBA. That's where Sabrina Ionescu proved exactly why she's so respected across basketball. She didn't let Plum's jab slide. Her perfectly timed, sarcastic response shut it down instantly. But Ionescu's support for Clark goes far beyond that moment. When Clark was battling her quad injury, Ionescu was offering advice from her own experience with similar setbacks. While Plum was throwing shade, Ionescu was building bridges, understanding that Clark's success doesn't just elevate one team, it elevates the entire league.
And latest being this viral Kelsey Plum dig, if you will, and I was in the room for this. It did strike me as very odd in the moment when she said what she said. I wrote it off as kind of awkward, but let me play it for you again, and then I'll respond after the fact. This is what Kelsey Plum said about the t-shirts, and you can, Sabrina Ionescu's.
But don't think Caitlin Clark took that disrespect lying down. Not a chance. The Queen came back with a perfect response when Kelsey Plum posted a series of Instagram photos from All-Star Weekend, including one of herself posing in front of a Nike logo, despite being sponsored by Under Armour. Clark's reply: a 6-word masterpiece. Thank you for the Nike ad. The brilliance of that comeback can't be overstated. It was sharp, clever, and perfectly measured, playful on the surface but devastating underneath. In one line, Clark exposed the hypocrisy of a player taking shots at her while unintentionally promoting her actual sponsor. That's next-level composure and strategy. A reminder that Clark operates on an entirely different plane than her petty critics. And this wasn't an isolated incident. There's a growing pattern of WNBA players going out of their way to downplay Clark's impact. Yet they're the same ones who benefit most from her rise. The irony is undeniable. These players demand higher pay through collective bargaining, while tearing down the very athlete whose star power makes those pay raises possible. Clark's presence fuels TV deals, drives ticket sales, and moves merchandise, She's literally powering the league's growth.
Me, I thought that was a little dig at Caitlin. A lot of people definitely thought so. Now, we know Caitlin Clark is a Nike athlete. She's with Nike. And guess who had to pull up to the Nike party? None other than Sabrina Ionescu. I mean, none other than Kelsey Plum. My bad, y'all. None other than Kelsey Plum, bruh. Caitlin Clark commented on her picture. Thank you for the Nike ad.
Let's be brutally honest about the business side of this. Before Caitlin Clark arrived, the WNBA was struggling. The league had never turned a profit, attendance was stagnant, and national attention was minimal. Then Clark changed everything. Her college games at Iowa shattered records, with the 2024 championship drawing 18.9 million viewers, rivaling major men's events. When Indiana drafted her, the Fever transformed from an afterthought into must-watch TV. Season ticket sales surged, merchandise revenue exploded, and the entire league saw growth. Yet instead of celebrating that success, some players seem resentful. They want the rewards of Clark's impact without giving her credit for creating them. It's like demanding more golden eggs while criticizing the golden goose that laid them.
The league lost money last year. It's lost money for what, 28 years now, 27 years, 26 years? However long, it ain't never turned a profit. Again, they're about to make more money. They are. The media rights deal, which is where all the money is about to push salaries higher. All right? I think what a lot of people really are sick of is they're sick of the activism part of it, which is what the other night was. Let's go out and show solidarity in protest kind of crap. And sports fans are like, oh, I'm here for the freaking All-Star game.
Sabrina Ionescu understands something Kelsey Plum clearly doesn't. Success isn't a zero-sum game. Caitlin Clark's rise doesn't diminish anyone else. It lifts the entire sport. Ionescu has watched her own profile grow as the WNBA gains more mainstream attention, benefiting from higher viewership, bigger sponsorships, and expanded media coverage. That's why she continues to back Clark, both publicly and privately. She knows that multiple stars make the league stronger, not weaker. Her response to Plum wasn't just about defending Clark. It was about protecting the WNBA's long-term interests. This incident exposes a deeper issue. When the league's biggest draw is constantly disrespected, it poisons the environment for everyone. Imagine NBA players mocking LeBron or Curry in their primes. It'd be seen as unprofessional and self-sabotaging. Yet, in the WNBA, tearing down Caitlin Clark has somehow become normalized.
So it was definitely awkward what Kelsey Plum said. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, and that she was attempting to have some trash talk there. She had taken a shot at Team Caitlin Clark and how much better Team Collier was earlier in the game, and not associate that directly with Caitlin Clark. One, because of the delivery and the awkwardness involved there, and her saying she's trying to lighten the mood. So I think that's what that was supposed to be, but it was completely unnecessary. Didn't need to be said, and certainly putting it out there publicly.
Sabrina Ionescu's defense of Caitlin Clark goes far beyond one player standing up for another. It's a statement about the kind of league the WNBA wants to be. Does it want to celebrate its stars and build unity, or allow jealousy and pettiness to overshadow the game itself? The answer should be obvious. For a league still striving for mainstream relevance and financial growth, alienating its biggest draw is nothing short of professional suicide. Clark's influence stretches well beyond basketball. She's a cultural force who's brought millions of new fans to women's sports. Players like Ionescu understand that and act accordingly. They build relationships, offer support, and recognize that a rising tide lifts all boats. Their focus is on basketball excellence, not unnecessary drama. That's what makes Kelsey Plum's comment such a glaring unforced error, a completely avoidable misstep that served no strategic purpose. There was absolutely no reason to call out Team Clark's attendance. It added nothing to her message about unity and instead created pointless controversy. Worst of all, the timing couldn't have been worse. What should have been a powerful moment of player solidarity turned into yet another reminder of the infighting holding the WNBA back from its full potential.
People who don't believe in the CC effect, my precious CC, y'all ticket sales went from $262 to $121 to $64 to get in at the door. That is horrible. It decreased by 48%. You hear me? That is wild. So for all the ones who be hating on my precious CC, understand the Caitlin Clark effect is real. The CC effect is real. My precious CC is real. You hear me? Y'all need to put some respect on her name. That's wild, huh? We only wanted to see my precious CC, not nobody else.
To everyone who still doubts the Caitlin Clark effect, let's look at the facts. Ticket prices for the All-Star Game plummeted from $262 to $121, then crashed all the way down to $64 just to get in the door. That's a 48% drop. You hear me? Nearly half gone overnight. That's not coincidence. That's proof. The Caitlin Clark effect is real. My precious CC is real. People came to see her, not anyone else. That's the level of influence she brings to the game. And it's time people put some respect on her name. What separates true champions from the rest isn't just talent, it's mindset. Champions celebrate excellence wherever they find it. They know that tougher competition makes everyone better. Sabrina Ionescu has shown that championship mentality throughout this entire situation. She supported Clark's growth, praised her impact, and stood up for what's right.
Kelsey Plum did reply to this. Oh, no, she didn't. Kelsey Plum did not reply. So CC definitely fired back, man. So, a lot of posts is coming from this weekend. It's just another post. So here you go, Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Plum. So Kelsey Plum let it be known she's with Under Armour. Thank you to my Under Armour team for making Plumberry come to life. That is funny, bro. That is funny.
At the end of the day, Kelsey Plum's comments were an unnecessary, unforced error that stirred up drama during what should have been a celebratory moment for the WNBA. Sabrina Ionescu's response, however, was pitch perfect, firm enough to make her point, yet professional enough to keep things respectful. Caitlin Clark, as always, continues to face adversity with grace, letting her performance speak louder than any controversy. Ionescu understands that mindset, and Clark embodies it. It's time for everyone else to either get on board or get left behind, because whether some players like it or not, the Caitlin Clark era is here to stay. The Queen doesn't need to defend herself. She's got loyal allies like Ionescu to handle the noise while she focuses on what matters most, dominating the game and growing the sport for everyone. That's how championship cultures are built.